am Stephanie Pisaliton from Ilocos Community College, Bachelor of Science and Tourism Management. So I am here po to conduct an interview about quality survey. So my first question is, ilang taon ka nang chef?
Qatar 4 years. Tapos, before going to Qatar, I own and manage our family business, which is into cakes and also some catering. If our friends or family, friends or relatives would like to cater, they would reach out to us and order for catering for small events.
Ano po yung roles and responsibility mo in your job or as a chef?
As a head chef, I'm in charge overall kitchen operations, from dealing with the management. So I belong in the management team, from the managers to supervisors. I take orders directly from the owner, which she belongs from the royal family. Then, so aside from the management, next I will deal with the suppliers, planning the orders, communicating with the suppliers what I need, and not just that. Before taking into, I would like to relate sa topic which is the quality, di ba? So, before taking or having a contract with some certain suppliers, I prefer to have at least three different suppliers. They will meet me in the restaurant, and I will tell them what I require, especially if I need some specific quality or types. Or for example, let's take in consideration the beef. In Qatar, they have US, they have Australian, they have also some Brazilian. But in our restaurant, specifically, take US beef, which is the Angus beef. Actually, Angus beef is from Australia, but in our restaurant, which is a franchise from Kuwait, I follow certain grades and types. So I will meet some suppliers. If they are able to give me the 100% of the brand and the quality, then I will go for them. Or if ever, since the pandemic came, there was a problem for shipments abroad. Next is, if that specific quality of beef, then that's my skill or my strategy to check the next grades that is available that will meet the required type or the required standard of the restaurant. I will meet them. I'll try to compare. I'm hands-on in cooking that specific food or ingredient before proceeding to them. Then next, aside from dealing with suppliers, kitchen operations, food safety, the HACCP or the Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, which you students are taking in the school, learning about the HACCP. When I was still a student, I'm hearing that HACCP. But when I went abroad, especially Qatar is very strict. Or else if not only in Qatar, maybe in the whole Middle East, if you mess up or if you serve not quality food, you will receive complaints, and maximum of that is you will end up in jail, which is a very big responsibility. So as a head chef, I make sure everything is fresh, from the raw ingredient to storage to preparation until the food is in the plate and given to the customer. Next is the hygiene of the staff. So, as I've said, in Qatar, if you mess up, you end up in jail. So even a strand of hair, even a small plastic, even a small aluminum foil, or whatever foreign object that can contaminate the food is my responsibility. Then, what else? Okay, I mentioned about the storage of food, inventory, um, purchasing, and speaking of inventory and purchasing, it's my responsibility to control the cost cutting. So I'm the one responsible for costing, how much is one item, how much is the total cost for that one, and I'm also the one responsible for computing or suggesting or recommending how much is the selling price. Then if it's agreeable to the owner or the manager, then they will go for it. Or if not, we will adjust it. And what else is my responsibility? Kitchen cleanliness, all of that stuff.
Next question. Bakit mas pinili mo sa abroad kaysa dito mag-work sa Pilipinas?
Actually, when I took PSHRM, the original plan is what's the ideal course that I will take up since we belong in the food industry. Since my grandmother is really into cooking, instead of taking up other courses, okay, I'll just go with PSHRM. Then when I'm in college, then there I learned about working in five-star hotels, the opportunity to go abroad, or in cruise lines. So in targeting working for cruise lines, you will need an experience for five-star hotels. Then when I graduated, actually, I immediately work as a trainer or professor. But then after some time, since I've been exposed to our students going in an OJT in really good hotels, then that's when I realized that I want to go in the real industry. One time I went to interview here in a famous resort. Okay, I go and apply. And then it was actually my first day. Okay, this is the field. It's very hard, you know. Dealing with other people, the intimidation that you are new. Then that when I'm on my way, because the resort is in Santiago, that's when I realized if I will be in this hard area, then better I go abroad, make the hard work there and earn more money instead of having the hard work here and receiving in the end very little amount. So that's when I decided to go abroad. At least money-wise, and your efforts will be worth it.
And then, why you interested in this job role?
Yeah. So since I belong in a family that is really into catering and food business, I pursue. And in the long run, you will realize in the school that it's very worth it, and it's a passion. So they said that choose work that you love, so you will not feel that you are working. It's like really just doing something that you love.
How do you deliver good quality services to the customer?
Yeah. As my experience as a head chef, first is to paying attention to detail. So from the suppliers itself, because they will be the one to give you the quality of the products, planning what is the best brand, the best taste that will really give you the quality. For me, given my experience, because the ingredients there in Qatar is very expensive, and of course here also. Um, Sometimes there are ingredients that is expensive somewhat, but uh, if you really want your quality or your product to be uh, it's very uh, highest point of quality, then go for it. But since here in the Philippines, especially here in our province, then practical wise, the practicability, because at the end you would want to earn profit from it. So the best thing to do for that is to not only focus that, or example, I need this ingredient, and directly you will go to grocery and pick the cheapest one. No, sometimes there are ingredients that are in the middle, the budget is in the middle, and there are brands that is well known, then we can go for it. So aside from the suppliers, next is the production of the food. So me, I always believe that if too much person is handling a certain food, and it affects the quality. I'm always hands-on. If I'm the one preparing a food or I'm the one preparing a product, then I will be the one to start it and finish it. Make sure that I monitor everything, especially uh, the contaminations from outside and the storage of it from the packaging. Make sure that it's presentable, um, palatable, feasible, and that's it.
And then what are the major issues or problems you have encountered in your job, and how did you deal with it?
The major struggle actually that I encountered, especially me, that my current job, I'm in overseas, and you students will be able to understand, especially not only here in the locally, wherever workplace that you will go, is first is dealing with other people, especially in that certain workplace. Me, I'm working in the kitchen, not only uh, um, same nationalities but other nationalities, is the what you call this, the interpersonal relationship, because the understanding should be there. It's not always that you know that you know what you're doing, or you think you know what you're doing, then you should just go for it, or what. Some people have, maybe they have better ideas, so should be open for their ideas also, talk, so you will have understanding. So me, I always believe, and what I teach my fellow colleagues is, number one is attitude. The skills will always be there. Skills is learned, but attitude, it will bring you to places. So even if you are the best person for the job, for the position, if you don't have a good attitude, then you just stay like that. Then next is um, customer complaints, whether here in the Philippines, locally, or internationally. You must accept that not 100% of the customers will always be pleased on the product or the food. There will always be complaint. So one thing that I would want to advise other people is to accept criticisms. So it will always be a struggle, especially that you will receive complaints. Oh, the food is not good. The food is like this. Of course, people have different taste buds, so you cannot please everybody. But as to you, as your emotions, you should accept it. Be open-minded. It's part of the it's part of the work. Then if you will be able to learn that and absorb that, then you will be strong, especially as in the kitchen. The kitchen is very hot. Um, the kitchen is very fast paced. You should always be quick but focused. Because even if you work fast but your food is not up to the quality, it's nonsense. As I started from CDP position before I went to the head chef. So when I had the position of head chef, I'm responsible for the quality of the food. And in Middle East, in Qatar, people, especially the locals, the Qataris, they want the food, especially speaking of quality, what they see in social media, what they see in the photo, they want exactly like that. Okay? The color, the quantity, the size, everything that they want they want to say, they see in social media and photos displayed, they want exactly like that. Or else they will send it back to you. So sometimes, especially if there is VIP guests, when I say VIP means these are the people from the government and the ministry or some big names in the country. Because head chef is only monitoring. But when I have important guests, I'm the one really cooking the dishes. I don't want to mess up, even if there are huge. I run in the kitchen, make the salads, make the main courses, plate the desserts. I want at its best quality because what food you serve reflects you. So if the food is messy, means you are a messy person. What else? Yeah, the logic is like that. And I always tell my staff, you should always put yourself as the customer. So what if you are the one seated outside? Would you want this plate to be served to you or no? If they will answer me no, then change the plate. I don't want like this. And I always believe that from the kitchen, it's about the relationship with the dining staffs, the front of the house. So aside from the skill of the chef inside or the staffs in the kitchen, is also the skill of the front of the house. So if the person outside, the waiters, for example, or the supervisors, is able to tell the guest that, hey, sorry ma'am, but please can you wait for a while because they are preparing the best food for you. It's also a skill. Not all waiters and waitresses is skilled in talking to people, dealing with quality service naman outside. If the back of the house is dealing with the quality of the food, outside is dealing with quality service. So if the food is quality but the service outside is not good, then it affects my food. So even if it takes longer time, I would tell the waiters outside, sorry, but I cannot serve it. I don't want the quality. I will be the one make it myself and serve you. Like that. That's always my teaching to my staffs also, to have the satisfaction of the guests.
That's it. I learned so much from you. Thank you po.
Thank you so much. I hope that you learned something, especially that this course is something that I love, and I would want to inspire other people to follow, because tourism and hospitality is very good, very, if used wisely in the future, it's everything. It's very nice.
Thank you for the time po na interview.
Welcome.